Hey everybody, I am so excited to do this video. It's all of my favorites. This is the now infamous, Jaclyn Hill Ride or Die tag. I was tagged by the lovely Kristina from Pretty Shiny Sparkly, and I have a tag out to a bunch of you, and I'm not gonna play Romper Room and do I name this one and this one, so check in the description box below to see if you are tagged, and I will also be tweeting you, so there's no excuses. You will know that you have been tagged. And if you're not tagged, do it anyway. This is not exclusionary. Everyone can jump on in. All right, a couple of housekeeping things. The phrase ride or die is right up there with me with curated and bespoke phrases that should be put to bed and never spoken aloud again. Also Holy Grail. These are not Holy Grail products. These are my favorite products. These are my most favorite of my favorite products, my go-to products, if you will, my hero products. Ride or die, I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Okay. Enough of the rant. Let's get on with it. Everything will be listed in the description box. All kinds of goodies. Also want to mention there's a kind of private, only in the know bauble bar sale going on, 20% off, $50 or more purchase. I will put a link to that below because you can only know about it through a few people that are talking about it, and there's a code and all that, blah, blah, blah. That's in the description box. First favorite product, primer. So I interpreted this as face primer and eyeshadow primer. For face primers, this is what I use every morning before I put on my makeup. No matter what, even if I'm spraying something on or trying something on after that, it is always the Colleen Rothschild Sheer Renewal Cream. Works amazingly as a primer, the way it just sets kind of like not a matte, but almost like a satin finish on your face. And this cream is great for oily skin, dry skin. It's my go-to for a primer, so that's what I use, and I've repurchased this over and over and over again. And that's kind of the criteria is, for me, I decided on products that if all my makeup disappeared, what would I purchase to replace it, or have I used this over and over and had to replace it? If the answer is yes to either or both of those questions, it's here in this video. Okay, eyeshadow primer, no shocker. The Wet n Wild, they've renamed it Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I love it. It's great. It works as well or better than anything I've ever tried, and I have bought about 6 tubes of this stuff. I have backups upon backups. It's lovely. Now for foundation. Okay, I couldn't pick one. Sorry, I just couldn't do it. And I am wearing almost every single thing mentioned in this video, by the way. So far I have both of the primers on. The foundation for the high end that I reach for, I've used the most, I've used it the longest, and I still really love it. It should be no surprise as I hold up the Guerlain Lingerie Depot. This is my winter shade. This is shade 31, which basically I'm kind of back to by now. I've stopped using self-tanner, but it's a beautiful finish. It's great on, especially on dry skin. It has a slightly satin, I wouldn't say dewy, but definitely satin finish. It's great coverage. It's definitely a medium to full coverage. I feel the wear time on this is great. I will say the shade options, not so great, not a lot of shade options, but if you can find one that works for you, this is a beautiful, lovely foundation. However, the one that I actually over time have used more than any other foundation, and I've repurchased in not just my everyday shade, but several shades, and that I've worn in some very important occasions, is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation. I'm currently wearing the shade 105. It is what is on my face right now. I didn't even think I was gonna like this foundation. CoverGirl initially sent me this with a bunch of other foundations that I was actually getting paid to talk about, and this one was just like an extra one that wasn't in the contract. And this is the one that I loved, and this is the one that I continue to buy with my own money and wear all the time. There's some really great shade options. On the fair to medium side, I'm not sure how it works on the deeper skin tones, to be perfectly honest, but in the fair to medium shade range, there's a lot of great tones. This works great on oily skin, dry skin. It wears for a very long time. When we had to drive through the night to get to Jake's college orientation, and I had this on my face for 36 hours, and it really held up. I don't recommend wearing makeup for 36 hours. I don't even know if this is marketed as a long wear, but I love this stuff. Okay, concealer. Again, I colored outside the lines a little bit. First, let's talk about more like under eye corrective concealer, and there's only one for me. It's the MAC Prep and Prime highlighter pen in the shade Radiant Rose. It's this beautiful pinky, salmon-y colored. I wear it underneath the concealer that I put on top. It just brightens my under eye area, and as the day goes on, if I look a little tired towards evening and I'm going out, I pop a little bit more on top of everything I already have slapped on my face, and it just brightens up that eye area and lifts everything up, and it's wonderful. And I've purchased, I think, 5 of these pens at least. They do last a really long time. They're definitely worth the money. And then for regular concealer, I have to go with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, because the length of time, the color range, the fact that I can get 1 shade for my under eye, 1 shade for any blemishes on my face. It doesn't get cakey on me. It doesn't gather in my fine lines, of which there are quite a few more than there used to be. It's just, it's travel friendly. It's a great product. It's easily obtainable. I love it. Now, face powder, the categories, there were 2, under eye setting powder and face powder. So under eye setting powder, this is fairly recent. I don't always set my under eye concealer with powder, but ever since last fall, was it last fall? I think it was last fall, when I picked up their Guerlain, what are these things called? Meteorites. I love these. I'm gonna there they are. They smell lovely, like violets. And they really do brighten the under eye, and they're so finely milled that the powder doesn't make me look any more ancient than I already am. And then as far as face powder, I don't even know if I ever talked about this, or I very rarely, I think, have brought this up in all the years, but I have bought 3 of these in my lifetime. This is the newer packaging. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I actually get it in the shade medium. It works just fine on my very pale skin. It kind of warms it up a little bit. It has a little of a yellow undertone. Even at my palest, it doesn't look wrong. It just has a nice glow to it without being overly shiny. It sets my makeup really well. I just love how it looks on the skin. Bronzer. I've played with a lot of bronzers. I love a lot of bronzers, but the bronzer that I reach for the most is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. Aside from the lovely smell, it just works really well on my skin. I use it not only for all over bronzer, I have used it in the past as a crease color. You can kind of use it to contour because it's not so warm. It's very versatile. I'd say my favorite highlighter of all time are the Becca Shimmering Pressed Powders, and if I had to go for 1 shade, I would go to the shade that turned me on to this, and that is Champagne Pop. I love it. It's beautiful. I'm wearing it today. I've worn it as an eyeshadow color. I've worn it as an inner corner highlight today. It's on my cheekbones. It's so beautiful. And look at this. I mean, I've had this a while, and other than the fingernail dent I put in it, it's barely, this will last me the rest of my natural life. But the one blush I use the most, and when I travel, it's always in my bag, is the Clinique Cheek Pop in Melon. This, of course, I think is better suited for those fair skin tones like this. But it's very neutral. I like a very subtle blush. This is pretty subtle. It's pinky, peachy, kind of is a chameleon-like depending on what else you have going on. It can go with pink tone things. It can go with more brown and peach toned shades on your face. It's not a flat, it doesn't have sparkle, it's just a glow, and it's just lovely on the skin. Let's move on to the eye products. So some of these were in the original tag and some of these weren't as far as categories, but I decided to include everything that I put on my face. So let's start with brows. I have a lot of brow pencils. I like a lot of brow pencils, but the one I still reach for over all the other ones is the original girl. It's Anastasia Brow Wiz in Taupe. It's more pigmented, the tip is just fine enough, it lasts a really long time on my brows. It's just, for me, the perfect one. Are there other ones that are pretty much dupes or close? Of course, but if you can afford to get the original in your collection, I highly recommend that you do. And the Anastasia Brow Wiz, spoolie on one end, very fine point on the other. It's just the ultimate of my brow options. Now, to set it, my go-to brow, what would you call this, mascara, has to be the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in the shade Blonde. I use this every single day. I like it better than any other brand I've tried, and I've tried a lot, and there's some great ones out there, but my all-time favorite has to be the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Blonde. It's lovely and incredibly affordable. I'm gonna talk about my all-time go-to favorite eyeshadow palette. Probably, again, not a shocker. It's gotta be the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. I mean, come on. I'm wearing this today. I have started really getting into the matte eyeshadow look. I didn't do that today. Today I just wore my favorite colors, like kind of my go-to shades in the palette. but I've recently started experimenting with doing an all matte eye, and what's great is you can do that with this palette. You don't even have to touch the shimmers. Mine is the original palette, so I don't have names on here, but I'm wearing the pinky shimmery shade on the lid, and I'm wearing this lighter of the mid-tone matte brown in my crease. And then my all-time favorite corner kind of like darker shimmery shade is this one right here. I don't know what it's called. Staying with the eye theme, as far as eyeliner goes, I don't know if eyeliner was in the original tag. I have no liquid eyeliner that I could talk about. I don't like any so much. Like, I reach for it occasionally just to play, but every day I am wearing a pencil eyeliner, and the pencil eyeliner I like the most is the Makeup Forever Aqua XL eye pencil. It used to be the Lancome Drama liquid pencils, and those are nice, but over time they do dry up, and these have not at all. And the shade range on these is amazing, and it's a little bit cheaper than the Lancome one. So I would say if you're gonna get one $21 eye pencil, get this one. There's been a little bit of a controversy because in an earlier video I talked about how I really don't like black eyeliner on older women. I personally think for most people, I always am speaking in generalities. I mean, I can't specifically address every woman's face on the planet, but generally speaking, and there are always exceptions to this, of course, especially if you're much darker toned and darker hair and all that, but generally speaking, a very, very, very dark brown that almost looks black, I think is still more flattering than sheer black, not sheer, jet black. And Makeup Forever makes a really, really nice dark brown. They also make a really good dark, dark, dark navy blue that almost looks black, and a dark, dark, dark gray that almost looks black, and all of those I feel are just beautiful. But if you like black, I just want to put it out there. If you like wearing black eyeliner and you think you look amazing, then you do look amazing, and you rock that black eyeliner, because that's what makeup's all about. You pick what works for you. That's why there's 10,000 gajillion YouTube beauty channels. So just putting that out there. Okay, moving on. Best mascara. Oh my gosh, this is gonna go in my August favorites, but obviously I have to talk about this now. It is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Amazing, amazing. Like, this negates any need for false eyelashes. You can just throw all your false eyelashes away. This stuff is unbelievable. Length, thickness, volume, no flaking, no clumping, no smearing, easy to take off. It ticks every box that I have when it comes to mascara. I love this stuff. It is a superhero mascara, hence the name, Superhero Mascara. One of the categories in the original Jaclyn Hill tag was lashes. You know me, not a huge fan of lashes because I still really stink at applying them. But when I do, I use the Ardell Adore Trios. I've talked about these before, I think in a Marnie Minute on false lashes. It is much easier to apply these trios, which are just 3 clumps stuck together. It's much easier to attach these than a full strip, and it's also much easier to apply these than just the individual clumps. Moving on to lips, it was asked favorite lipstick. So that was really hard. I don't have it with me, but I would say a drugstore version is the Milani lipstick line. The whole line is lovely. But my most favorite, and I'm a little biased because I did make the video for these for the brand, but the Clinique Lip Color Pops, it would be hard to pick one color that is my all-time favorite. Currently wearing Plum Pop. I'm feeling a little fallish, but I think the most worn color is probably Sweet Pop right here. I think the lipstick wears for a really long time. It has primer built in that make very flattering shades for the grown-up woman. The packaging is adorable. The price point is really nice. I think these are $18, which for a higher end brand is very reasonable. Another category was liquid lipstick. You know, I hate liquid lipstick. I've tried, no. Like, really, I don't believe anyone who says they like liquid lipstick. They can't. Like, the way it feels, like, I get the convenience factor, but the dead matte lip thing, I'm not getting it. And then you feel like saran wraps on your lips, and then your lips are like dry and flaky and peeling. I mean, I know people like it. I'm being a little facetious, but I've tried, and it is just not for me. But YSL came out with glossy lip stains years ago, kind of predated the whole liquid lipstick trend, and I still think it is the best product on the market. These little glossy stains, they have a doe foot applicator. They come in a million colors. I have like 7 of them now. The one I reach for the most, I don't even know if they still make this shade. It's number 15, I believe. I love how these look. They're glossy. They look like lipstick, but they have the staying power of a liquid lipstick without making your lips feel like you need to sandpaper them off at the end of the day. I wear these for special occasions. I wore a YSL glossy lip stain for both of my son's bar mitzvahs because I knew during the services I wouldn't have time to touch up, you know, because you're up there for like 2 hours. For meetups, I usually wear these if I know I'm going to be talking a lot and I'm not going to be able to get to my purse and touch up. They're just great. And lots of other brands have made versions of these, but this one, still the best. And then favorite lip gloss of all time. This, I think, counts as a lip gloss. It's the Clarins Instant Light Lip Perfector. You've heard me talk about this. I've looked for dupes. The original is the best as far as I'm concerned. The color options are fabulous. And most of the summer, I'd say the last month or so anyway, this is almost the only thing I have on my lips most of the time. It's hydrating. Your lips look amazing. It looks like you're wearing lipstick that you don't have on. It feels weightless. It smells lovely. It tastes good when you lick your lips. It's just wonderful. I love them. Favorite setting spray. This I had to give some thought because I've used a lot of setting sprays. I've used the NYX setting spray, the L'Oreal setting spray, the Scandinavia setting spray, the Urban Decay setting spray. There may be some others in there that I'm forgetting at the top of my head. But the one that I repurchase over and over and I feel is the most value for your money is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This is a little travel size. I'm actually almost out, and because I use this so much, I'm just gonna go get the big bottle. This is a lovely setting spray by itself. It's also great if you've overdone it with the powder products and you just need a final mist to make everything kind of look put together and not cakey. It's great if you're working with pigments or you want a wet shadow. You just spray this on your brush and now you can, I mean, it's just so versatile. It's such a great product. This is the original, and it is still, I think it's the original. It's the original one for me, and it's the one I've repurchased over and over and over again, and I'm gonna go repurchase some more. So there you have it. Those are my ride or die, if you will, holy grail, favorite, superhero, hero, go-to products. My desert island choices, I don't know. These are my all-time favorites. Now, I am a beauty YouTuber, so every month there is going to be a favorite of the moment, but these are the ones that are standing the test of time so far. These are the ones I reach for. That's not to say that I won't have my favorites of the moment every month, but love these. So like I said, if you're tagged, check below. I'm also tweeting all of you, and I would love to hear from you guys, all of you. What are your favorite all-time products, like of any particular category? You don't have to name every single one, but I would love to know. Put them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Back through my videos, and I found one from August of 2010. Gosh, this is a